Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know how I'm gonna start this off. I don't know how this video is gonna flow. I don't know the concept behind it. I don't know like what's gonna happen. All I know is that I'm picking up this camera and I'm recording. So, I was just thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I like start this video off like by saying, right? And I was like, okay, let me just talk about my process of even preparing for this video. Me buying the camera I'm using, me buying an iPad to edit, me going out and just getting ready to do what God has told me to do, right? And in that, I was facing quote unquote distractions, right? Or the enemy was trying to distract me from what God has told me to do, right? So throughout this process, even a little bit before this process, I've been desiring a relationship. I've had the urge to be in a relationship, right? And honestly, similar to temptations, right? And the same way the devil tempts you with things that you desire, he also can distract you with things that you desire. And these distractions can oftentimes be like good distraction. Obviously, me being distracted, or the enemy trying to distract me with men, right? As I'm desiring a relationship, it can be a good thing, of course, because love is good, right? Having a partner is good. Having someone you can pray with is good. Having someone you can talk to about God with is good, right? But it's the fact that like the devil's using that to distract me, as God is trying to tell me to, or not trying to, but as God is telling me to do this assignment, fulfill this assignment. It's like, come on, like be for real. Like I'm so rooted in Christ upon where I can discern what is a distraction and what is not, right? So in this process, there's one incident where I was at Ross and I went to Ross just to find an outfit for Easter. I had plans of just staying there for 25-30 minutes tops, right? And as I'm in Ross, I'm walking around, I go to the dress aisle, look at the dresses. I go to the shirts, look at the shirts, and I got stopped by this guy, right? He proceeds to tell me like, oh, like I saw you when you came in, I just want to like introduce myself, just want to like get to know you, or just want to know your name, whatever guys be saying, right? And I'm like, okay. At first I was just like, like I'm not trying to talk to no one for real, but I'm like, okay, let me just be nice. So we end up like talking for like 15-20 minutes, right? And after we talk, he leaves, and I'm like, okay, God, you already know what to do. If this boy's not for me, just remove him. Like, boot him out, like now, okay? And I remember the next day, as I wake up, the first thing I think of is the interaction that I had with the guy, right? I'm thinking, I'm realizing, I had plans to stay at Ross for this amount of time, and it ended up being longer than what I expected because this guy wanted to talk to me. Okay, I realized this guy interrupted my plans. So as soon as I made that realization, right, God literally spoke to me and said, he is a distraction. He is a distraction, guys. The quickness God just spoke to me with, like, literally the way he just said that so quick, like literally not even the next day, like hours later, he gave me that word. And that just let me know that like what he has for me and what he told me to do, the assignment he told me to fulfill, is so important, and it has to be outside of myself. It has to be outside of my desires. It's literally for everyone. It's for the kingdom. No, that's all.
They present however they want in their book.
So I've been in the book of John, and this morning I was rereading John 16. And as I was reading John 16, there was a verse that stuck out to me, and that verse is, I believe, verse 7, where it says, "Nevertheless, I am telling you the truth. It is for your benefit that I go away, because if I don't go away, the counselor, which is the Holy Spirit, will not come to you." And literally, like, when I read it, I began to, like, get all emotional, right? And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm not sure why I'm getting emotional, but there's a reason. So, on my way going to class, I began to just dwell on that verse and just think of why I was getting emotional. And I began to just like be reminded of my experiences with the Holy Spirit, especially last month. Last month, which was March, it was a month where I experienced the Holy Spirit in ways that I didn't think I was able to experience the Holy Spirit. And for months, I've been praying to God and asking God to reveal Himself in ways that I don't know, in ways that will blow my mind, in ways that I, in my human mind, cannot comprehend. And last month, He has done that. And just being reminded of my experiences with the Holy Spirit and the fact that I am able to experience the Holy Spirit, and how Jesus, in this verse it says Jesus died. He went away so that the Holy Spirit can come to us, the counselor can come to us, right? And this is the same Holy Spirit that convicts. This is the same Holy Spirit that warns us, the same Holy Spirit that guides us, the same Holy Spirit that prophesies over us, the spirit of prophecy. The things that have happened to me for the past year, the things I've seen, the things I've heard, the things that my mind was able to understand was possible, right? And because of the Holy Spirit, I'm able to have such a strong relationship with God to the point where I can discern His voice. I know when something's off. I know when, like, the Holy Spirit convicts me that I'm doing something wrong, or I'm leading the wrong way, or I'm doing something that is not benefiting me. It's not even me, but benefiting my relationship with God. Like, imagine if Jesus did not die on the cross for me. Like, would we even have the relationship we have with God now? Like, just looking back in the early Bible, where in Exodus, like, a lot of the Israelites were not even able to speak to God. Like, literally, Moses had to speak to God, and they're able to get a word from God through Moses.
Is there a next step? If you have that question in an interview, where do you want to be 10, 15 years from now? What does that look like for y'all?
I'm old. So retired. Actually, I just, by happenstance,
guys, so I'm back from campus and I just want to briefly talk about something that I got revelation on this morning as I read John 19. So John 19 just talks about Jesus' crucifixion and the details leading up to it, who was involved, what happened, what was said, right? And as I was reading John 19, I came across two verses, which were verse 29 and verse 30, and it reads, "A jar full of sour wine was sitting there, so they fixed a sponge full of sour wine on a hyssop branch and held it up to his mouth. When Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, 'It is finished.' Then bowing his head, he gave up his spirit." And this is in the CSB translation. So after I finished reading those verses, the Spirit led me to look up what hyssop branch is, the meaning behind it, any spiritual like symbolism, anything like that, right? So I searched it up and I came across this article that talked about a hyssop branch being able to cleanse sins and it just symbolizing purification. And it also mentioned or included a verse that also mentioned the hyssop branch or leaves in the verse. And that verse is Exodus 12:22. And it reads, "Take a bunch of hyssop leaves and dip it in the blood which is in the basin, and smear on the two sides and top of the door frame. Then none of you is to go out the door of his house until morning." So the context behind Exodus 12 is God instructing the Israelites to, get these leaves, dip it in the blood, and smear on their door frames, so that whatever spirit is passing through that town is to pass over their house and onto another and prevent their firstborn sons from dying, right? And this was just their preparation of the first Passover, right? So when I realized, this was the preparation of the first Passover, I remember seeing the word Passover earlier in John 19, and I went back to reread it again, and I noticed that Jesus' crucifixion was on the preparation day of the Passover. And just those two things being related to each other just blew my mind. And the fact that Jesus drank sour wine that has touched the hyssop branch, he drank it right before he died. So that wine is in his body, it's in his system as he's dying, before he died and as he's dying. And it makes so much sense to why his blood covers our sins. It makes so much sense to why his blood has so much power.
Here's my place. I don't know why it's cricket. Intermission. Here's Sarah's plate. Here's mine. Put them together. I don't know why I'm taking this serious. I need a fork. I'm gonna post it. You are? Oh. Sarah. I'm struggling. You're struggling. My nails.
What's good, vlog? What's good? Voice around, Sarah's vlog, what I'm saying?
This is my song, guys.
Hey, my name's Manuel. Hey, how you doing? Emmanuel Fontaine, freshman, kind of sophomore. Happy to be here, honestly.
Say hi to the vlog.
I'm currently getting ready to go to work. I'm just ironing my top because we have to wear collar shirts. But I just wanted to quickly talk about something that's been in my mind since the morning as I iron my shirt. But yeah, so this past weekend has been pretty busy, and I had a lot of things to do. Like, I went to a surprise birthday party, and then I went to a barbecue that my co-mentor was throwing. And because it was such a busy 2-3 days, my mind was focused on those things, and I didn't spend as much time as I usually do with God on Friday, to be exact. And from that, the Lord just he just really highlighted something to me. So this morning I just felt a bit like, like guilty and like sad. Like, I had a really sad feeling, and I knew that it was God inflicting that feeling onto me because, you know, growing up I wasn't that emotional. I mean, I was an emotional person, but I didn't really show my emotions. But for me to actually feel my emotions, and like, I actually ended up crying this morning, and for me to, like, you know, express it, it's only God. Like, he has been putting me in a journey of allowing myself to be vulnerable and to experience the emotions that I'm feeling because I'm human, right? And yeah, so this morning I literally cried during like watching online service. So I watched Social Dallas Live, and Social Dallas has turned 2 this year, and they're just doing like a little kind of recap video of their time being at church and just their growth and what God has been doing in their lives. And from that, I just got emotional because, you know, it just really highlighted their obedience and their diligence to seek God and to do what he had asked them to do, right? And after just going through that experience and just thinking about, you know, why I was crying and why God was leading me to feel that emotion, I began to like just think about how I spent my weekend. And it just reminded me of what I was talking about earlier in this video about distractions and how we oftentimes can be distracted by good things, right? So I feel like I was distracted by good things, just me going out to celebrate a friend's birthday. And honestly, I could have spent less time at the party. I could have left earlier because I ended up staying there like really late. And I feel like God really wanted me to just spend more time with him, especially because of the season that I'm in and how he has instructions to give me. He has things to say to me. There's words that I need to receive, right? And even with this whole YouTube thing, like, I didn't do this whole YouTube video thing because I had a desire. Yes, I had a desire, but I know the type of person I am. I don't like putting myself out there. But for me to have a very urgent and strong desire to do this, I know it's God that inflicted that onto me. And I know it's the assignment that he wanted me to fulfill. I need to go to him to know what to do, what to say, and how to, you know, praise him, worship him, and honor him through these videos.